what you say.
Bum 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 bum. Oh my god, it's still too high. God, Ursula's just too tall for me. Hi everybody. There are only 3 people in the chat. I'm proud of you guys, all 3 of you. Which one's power, which one's courage, and which one of you is wisdom? Heyo. Oh, Farwin is here. Howdy, it's time, isn't it, guys? Isn't it? Oh my god, I never prepare ever. I'm the wisdom. Very good. Okay, all right. I'm adjusted. So today is the critique stream as usual, and that means I'm gonna critique you as people. No. What am I doing? Oh, I'm critiquing things that were submitted in by the patrons. It's the long form ones, and then it's gonna be the short form ones next stream on Saturday. I'm not gonna lie, when you started talking, I jumped. Wow. There you go. I don't know why I'm using. Guys, give him a break. I'm low energy, okay? But I'm trying my best. So I have 3 things, I believe, to read. Read in front of you. No, that I read. And so I have AZ, I have Farwinds, and then I have Nats, but I'll do Nats last because there's also art to critique in that. I'm dying from classes all day, so if I disappear, it's because I don't. Okay, alright, no, that's fine. That's fine, we understand. So who goes first, AZ or Farwin? That's the question I'm asking y'all today. Ursula's in the corner playing video games. She's being me for once. She's the one playing Stardew Valley. You should put it on the big screen, and then everyone will be like trying to look past me to watch you play. They're like, oh, is that Stardew? You're good either way? Alright. AZ's good either way. Farwin hasn't said anything in a bit. Battle Royale to see who gets first. That's a possibility. Ursula made me very cursed in this image. I guess it's because it's spoopy season. Did she say something? I don't know what she's saying. I can't hear her. I'm fine with either. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh heck. Oh darn. I feel like I usually do AZ first, right? So I should go Farwin first. And yeah, I always do AZ first. I'm gonna do Farwin. So I read half of chapter 3 because you sent in double the word count, okay? So I stopped around there was like a little I gotta find where I stopped. I don't know if you did you send half the. It was like 6K. It was beyond what I usually read. Yeah, I stopped at page. I don't know how to count these pages. Page 28, page 56. Yeah, okay. Because it was a natural end, and it was only a little bit over compared to the entire thing. And so yeah, I would have said something earlier, but I read everything late. That's okay. Just pay attention in the future, or not, because no, but actually do pay attention in the future, because otherwise, it makes things hard for this boy. Critiques on pacing and flow. Oh, you were talking about. You did ask about characters, and like, by all means, like, I think it's fine to have bad people be characters, and like, I stopped right before like the scene with a mine in it. That's where I stopped. It is a spoopy stream today. The spoopy part is being critiqued. Alright, right. Like I think I've said this before, but like I think it's fine to have characters not be good people, and I do find your characters interesting. I'm trying to find like the things I like before I go into things I don't like, because I tend to go straight to the things I dislike. Because I wanna fix things. I liked the opening scene. It was very dramatic, I guess. I also think there was some nice bits of characterization and lore being dropped. And it was also nice to be with our main characters, and to kind of see like where things headed after the previous scenes back in chapter 2, Nautica. Like I always say, like, it's a very cool world, and there is a lot going on, and it's hard to hear me. Oh my god, the music went up loud. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know why it did that. It was like super loud. I don't even. Do you need me to repeat that stuff? Get him. Don't apologize. Right. Uh, cool worlds. Cool, interesting stuff going around. Okay, yeah. I like getting into like what is it? Like the kind of crux of your world with how the afterlife works, I guess seems interesting, and it seems like a nice kind of jumping off point for like kind of explaining all of like the little bits and how things how things work because there's all the stuff with like undead and things. Oh my god, I am so inarticulate today. I'm very sorry. Um, I think that and get again, there's like a lot of good elements, but I feel like there is like I don't even okay. Um, there'll be stuff sprinkled out throughout the story. Like I think there is still like the issue like I had previously earlier, like when you first started writing like chapter 2, where there is just a lot of information to take in. Um and and I think that there are a lot of characters to take in as well, and they're coming very very quickly. Um because this is only chapter 3, and in the past like couple of scenes, I how many we have about I think there's like 6 new characters. Um and if they're not all new, like they're characters that like haven't really had a lot of time to be fleshed out on the page. Um and like when I when I am reading things, um like it is very overwhelming to like take in all of this information. Um and I don't just mean like world building information, like I mean like character information and like really understanding them. And like that could be helped by the visuals of them, such the visuals later. Um but like sorry. But reading the script is like very overwhelming, and it's hard for me to like really break down scenes and really talk about like all of like the individual elements and what I like and what I don't like when um there is as much as there is. And I was just thinking like as I was reading it, like chapter 3, um like it takes a lot more space. um Sorry, it like comics take a lot of space if you want to like flesh out something like this deeply. And I think like early on when I was reading it, like I was having trouble like thinking of like how you could portray all this and like keep people along with your information. And like I was just having difficulties um with that. Sorry, I'm so bad at words today. I'm very sorry. um I guess one thought I had And like this isn't a suggestion, this is more like kind of an observation where when I was reading it, it kind of felt like reading um a kind of outline summary of a novel type work rather than a comic because of just the because there's just such a density of information and characters. And I just think about if you want a story like this big, it's either going to end up as a very big, very 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 big comic, um, or like it might need to be like more trimmed down in certain respects. Because as it reads now, like I can easily think of how you can portray all of this information a lot more cleanly and interestingly in like a novel type form, because you have more liberty to talk about like these heady topics, because a lot of what I read in this particular like chapter, um there wasn't a lot of like there wasn't tons of s- visuals and things to the point where it like really justified this um being a comic and the amount of work like a comic takes, if that makes sense. Whereas a lot of it is very heady information. The fact that it's comic, so everything kind of has to get thrown out there. Yeah, and I don't know how you would go about resolving this, because there's like a million different paths to take, but I think it's like a continual sort of like issue. He ain't no writer. Yeah, it's very difficult. Like you have a lot of hot potatoes on your plate to deal with. uh like because it is a really like interesting story, and like um you'll get better at writing the more you write. And like there are like ways in which you like are improving, um that I'm sure I can articulate because I'm good at words. um I I just think you have like a very difficult task on your plate with this story. And like the more characters like and the more plot and the more stuff, like the more difficult it's going to be. And I think that as I see these characters introduced and as I see how like fleshed out they are, or at least how fleshed out they feel, and how like it feels like we need to understand a lot about them, I can see how the story will just like spin out of control a bit, because like the more characters you add, the more difficult stuff will be, and you've already got like some difficult like world building to explain. Yeah, do you have like questions, like anything like that I could help with more specifically? I know you're talking about like scene how scenes tend to like just end, and I didn't really notice that too much. um I find like it's less about like how scenes like come to an end, and more the structure of the scenes that you choose to like include. Seems like more of a difficulty. It was just mainly the dialogue. It felt unnatural. Um, I think that your dialogue is okay. Um, like there aren't like huge problems. It's more of an issue of just like whenever you do have to get into this um into the more expository moments where like it's hard to when the characters have disagreements if like it had no point in being there. Um I guess it's hard for me to tell if there is going to be a point to the disagreements. Um because I'm fine with it would only become an issue if you bring up disagreements and then it has no bearing on like character or plot and the like. I I feel like I might have given you like a lot to think about. Um I think soon it'll be less chaos. All right. Well, keep at it. Writing is hard. Lots to think about, yeah. Um all right, I'll move on to uh bones. Um I don't know why I just said my name a bunch. Um to AZ's story. It is very hard. Agreed. I mean, I'm agreeing with myself because I was the one who first made that point. I see. Um okay. It's good. I liked it. So Ursula always says. Bones is a Pokemon. Yeah, I am. I've like grabbed every single fidget toy and I've like piled them all up. I'm like being very indecisive about them. How do we capture him? Throw a Pokeball at me, but you have to meet me at a convention. Thankfully, I won't be going to those for a while. um, all right. Yes, as I said, it's good. I liked it. I like the things that I usually like. Uh, Frick. I don't know where to go. Um, I liked the plot. Um, I liked the pacing of things. Um, and again, like I know that this will be like interspersed, but like as far as like the arc of the whole story flashback here, I like the pace of the second half of it. Great critique over. Yes, exactly. It's good. I liked it. The end. Um, Now we move on to the onions and punions. um, right. I like the pace of things. I tried to get the arc and pacing well done. Yeah, I think it was good. I liked it. I liked where it went. I like that it um leaves leaves the story off at like a good place to continue in the present present day story. Um um Sorry, I'm just skimming really quick. Um. Uh. Frick. Um. I know. I know that like one of the questions was whether or not it got too violent. Um. And like I don't think it was that bad. I think like with the greater context of the story, like I think it's a nice it's a nice little interruption. Um it's sufficiently violent. Um yeah. Um if anything, I thought, oh man, it's cool that there is violence and it isn't like like what is it, like homophobic violence or whatever. It's just good old violence. We're good. All right, cool. It's like I don't know if that makes sense, but it's nice to see it's nice to see a little edgy bit that isn't that's just the normal edge. Yeah, just good old gang violence, perfectly. Yeah, just edgy baka. Um, yeah, that's a good note though. Yeah, it wasn't homophobic violence. Yeah. Um, yeah, I thought it was like good action. I thought it did well in moving like the character forward and like being meaningful, like and like and it felt kind of like a logical point that things were going to. Like it didn't feel like out of nowhere. Um how did Dez's scene think where he's thinking about femininity and gender feel? Right. Um, I think it. I think that it was like better than like it has been. Sorry, I say better. Like I think it definitely like improves and like expands on like your like earlier portrayals with it. And I can kind of see like where things are going. And I think it does uh it's like starting to like make sense with the character cuz like I can see how it's developing. Yeah. Um let's see. Um yeah, like I think as it's more developed like it'll be good cuz like there is like uh, the possibilities of like stepping into like maybe kind of some cliches, but like I think it's as it like as the character develops and as like you go over things, like I don't think that's going to be an issue because I didn't really notice any of that. Um 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 I don't know necessarily like if the like because I'm assuming like the italysis is like maybe thought bubble stuff. I don't know, but like if it is, I don't know if it's necessarily going to be needed and might be like a bit far, but I'm not sure. Like it depends on like how do you get to that point. Um because I think it is like yeah, like I think it is. And it's not even like the slur that I think is too much. I honestly think that the one that's over the top is like his second thought, and it's only because it's clearly being very visually shown, and like I think that it's like yeah, like that's the part where I mean it's too far as in like it's too on the head, a nail on the head when looking at the whole context where you can all like the thought is very implied before I even got to that. Yeah. Yeah, less is more. Yeah, definitely. That was what I thought about it. Um yeah, like all in all, like it was very good. Um and I liked it. Oh, I really like the scene where he leaves at the end. Like I thought that was that gave many that gave good emotions, and it made me think of like, oh, where does he go from here? Oh no. Oh dear. Yeah. Um German Fire inspired me to rewrite my script yet again. I'm sorry. I was worried about that. I wasn't sure if I pulled it off. No, I think he pulled it off. I think it was very good. Um I think it was very good payoff. I guess yeah, payoff kind of. It's well deserved and definitely like lays very good groundwork um and really cements like character motivation and just like a understanding. Yeah, no, good vibes. Um, the next one I have is gnats. I'm just moving over immediately. I don't know if gnats here. I figure I should just shout out when I'm doing next because it always takes a bit before we go anywhere. No problem. I like how you write your scripts because I can just put them on my iPhone and play them in the background. And there's not all like because reading my own scripts, I hate it because it's all panel one, buh, 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 buh. Panel two, buh, 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 buh. Panel three, page number dollar sign. So annoying. I hate myself. Nat, who is Nat? I don't know who is Nat. I don't think Nat's here. Um, Ursula will look at this one too. So Nat submitted a pitch package. Um, and I want to say before Ursula says anything about like graphic design, um, don't. um, like every time like I talk to like publishers and things and agents, uh, graphic design like it's cute, it's good, but don't spend too much time on it because it doesn't really increase your odds of being selected. It just makes publishers feel worse when they reject you. that's that's usually it because it's about this. It's about the story and like your art skill. Like the job isn't graphic design. That said, it looks cute. Um. Oh damn. Yeah. Spitting facts. Oh, that's how. Okay. Yes. Um. Like I'm no master at pitch packages. I thought it started in an hour. Oh, well, it just started, so we're all good. Um, I don't even. Reviewing pitches is so hard, guys. Um, sorry, I'm just trying to form thoughts again. I hate doing pitches. I really suck at them. I don't think you are the worst at it. No, I think you did pretty all right. They're really hard. Um, I'm having such a hard time. Like, I think that the one thing, um, that kind of came through in like, or it didn't really come through in the pitches, was the character, like as much as it could. Because I think you have really strong character, like personality, like character personality, and I find that that doesn't fully come through in your pitch. Like one thing I kind of noticed, like I guess with like the section that is titled pitch, is that you lead with the fantasy setting, um which feels a bit odd when I think your story, like from what I've read, is very character focused. Um, um, and there's like a focus that seems like entirely on your character's position in the world rather than introducing like any elements of her like as a character, like saying that she's a witch and a magical veterinarian and stuff. Like those are like interesting things to like add. But like I'd like to see like some of like her character coming through, like the nervousness and what and like because that's such a like a crux of your story, right? Um, Shield. Um, the genre is fantasy. Um, I think I find your like for your marketing information, I think it's a little bit broad when you're like adding in the part about adults also liking things. Um, because it's it tends to be like more narrow focused, I guess, and when you're doing that sort of pitching, and and there's a lot of comps to the point where it feels like a bit much and saying that it's perfect for them. Like I don't really see like the through line with all of these comparisons, but I don't read as much comics. Like maybe Ursula would disagree. Um the theme section, I I think the theme part is a little dense and doesn't need to take up as much as it does compared to like other elements of your like pitch. Oh, and like in a similar vein, when you're starting introducing yourself, like I would lead with the information about what you have attached and the story, and then maybe move into about yourself. Because you want that, because you're pitching the story first, and you kind of like second. Yeah. Um, because yeah, you're gonna want that information to be led with. Um, the parts about the characters like seem fine because it's just more like in detailed stuff. The synopsis. Um, uh, like like the synopsis seems like fine as far as like that goes. Um, yeah, like I don't know. Synopsises are always boring, so I didn't worry too much. Um, hmm. I guess one thing I guess one thing I kind of noticed in the synopsis, and I don't know if this is an issue with just like the summarizing or the story itself, but I found like a lot of the interesting conflict happens in the past rather than the current events. Like there's talk about her using like the sourcing in the past, and like losing the hand in the past, and like there's some like interpersonal stuff that like I don't know like how interesting all of that comes across maybe. um um like maybe there needs to be more pushes and more bad things kind of happening, like something you would read and be like, yeah, I'm interested in the story. Like I'm interested in the story. Like I guess there is like uh some like difficulties there. Oh, I'm also I put okay. Okay, I see what happens with the bird. I don't know. I feel like maybe you need to. Again, I don't know if this happens in the story, but I feel like you might have to break Ayla, Alia, Alia, like more Orla, or is it Orla? Which one? Yeah, the main character. Like, I feel like more bad stuff, more conflict might need to happen because I think it's just the pinky thing. Like, I guess physically, but like, it doesn't feel like things get like per- more and more emotionally difficult. But yeah, I guess that would be like my things to say to consider before I pass things on to Ursula, who's like staring up into space and like she can see 1,000 miles. Oh yeah, it's the main one. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna give this to Ursula before she passes out so she can actually more tragedy. Yeah, more bad stuff. More bad stuff happening in the current moment. You know, add some tension, make things difficult. Get over here! I said, I said it's your turn. Before you fall asleep. Nasty girl.
Hello. Alrighty. Yeah, I was passing out. I'm ready to sleep. Long day. Okay. All right. Yeah, add more tragedy, more bad things. Okay. So I think, um, so I know Bones told me not to say anything about the graphic design, but, oh, hey, Miku. That's my girl. Hello.
She wants to help.
She's got a little tongue sticking out.
Does she?
Yeah.
She wants to help.
Okay.
She wants to help.
You want to help?
She wants to help her mom.
Okay. Come here, baby.
She wants to purr.
You and me. Here together. Okay. I know Bones told me not to say anything about the graphic design. I think you did a really good job overall with it. My one little thing is I would get rid of the little deer guy behind the text. Just because it makes things a little bit harder to read, and you want to get rid of as many barriers to reading it as possible. So, yeah. So I think that's the only graphic design thing I'd really change. Otherwise, I think you did a really good job with it. Um, um, yeah, I think you did a good job with like including like character designs. I like that you have like your colors and turnarounds and um like expressions and stuff, and showing you can draw like your characters doing different poses and things. I think that's just good stuff to include. Um, in your um, pitch, I might. Um, um, I don't know. I feel bad because I don't have any like big tips to give you for the visuals of your pitch. I think you did a good job with what you included. Um, I might. It's hard to say because you'll probably be including a link to your portfolio along with a pitch, I'd guess. So they'd probably see like other parts of your work, like other like everything you're capable of through your portfolio. But I might include some like scenery designs, um, maybe some like concept illustrations. I don't know. You're also including comic pages along with it, like you mentioned in your description. Um, I don't know, Bones. Are you supposed to send in a lot of like art concepts along with a pitch?
You're supposed to send, you send like the characters.
Just the characters? Oh, okay. Disregard everything I just said. I feel bad. I don't have any big advice for you on this one. I think Bones kind of covered everything. And I think you did a good job with laying out the character designs. So, no, you wanted to leave. Is this how you hold a cat?
How was that?
Yeah. um, it's okay. Yes. Hopefully Bones gave you some good advice. That was helpful. Um okay. Oh, I would say I agree with him on the comparisons piece where you mentioned like 4 comics to compare it to. Um yeah, I'd stick with like 2 that you think match it the most. Um uh yeah, two, just pick 2 that describe it the most. Yeah, I think that would be the best bet. Okay. Do you have any questions or anything I didn't cover that you were dying to learn about? Dying to hear. Stain cat just wants snuggles. She's off camera, but she's here. Snuggling. Um yeah, it's different with your comparisons. Like I know you're talking about like market information, so like what kind of genre it fits into. But I know a common like pitching tactic is saying like X property meets X property, like Aragon meets the Great Gatsby. Like that's a common pitching thing. So yeah. Mostly I would like to know if the pitch does a good job transmitting the gist of the story. Um I I feel like the pitch is kind of missing the emotional side. Like it mentions that outcome of like what she learns, but like just your little paragraph pitch. It kind of misses like, yeah, I think Mones talked about that where it's kind of missing like the emotional part of the story, like the really humanizing part. It mentions the outcome of like what she learns, um, but doesn't really talk about where she starts off, which I felt was like a strong part of your comic, was just like the characters' um, emotional stuff. Was like a strong through line, so maybe bringing that into your pitch more would help a lot. It's hard to summarize the whole thing. Yeah, I feel like you have the bones of what you need, the foundation of what you need, I should say. Um I think it just needs to be rearranged a little bit. Like maybe start more character focused. Um um yeah, like mention your character, maybe like their emotional stuff that they're going through, and then go into the competition and kind of what she needs to go through to grow as a character, like the main problem of the story too. um yeah, yeah, hopefully that makes sense, because like um yeah, especially because like when you go on to talk about the comparison comics, like those are very much about, like they're very character driven. And yeah, I think you just need to put more emphasis on that, so that it's all relatable and stuff. Okay, awesome. Cool. So let me know if you have any other questions. Otherwise, I think I will be moving on to the next person. So we have Marina and Kuro. Um, oh, Miku, stop. Chill. There we go. There you go, baby. Bye. Are you leaving? Oh, there she goes. Okay, Marina or Kuro, are either of you here? Oh, coming back to harass. Hey, baby. Meow. She's wild. She's like, hey, dad. She feral. Think you're good? Okay, awesome. Okay, if neither Kuro or Marina are here, I will I will volunteer somebody. You left. She wants back though. You left. She wants you. You have to sit with me if if you want pets. You have to be with me. You got the wiggles. She purr. Hello. Hey, ballpoint. Um, she's crazy. Look at those eyes. Feral. Get it away. Okay, I'm gonna talk about Marina's comic first. And then I'll talk about Kuro's. Okay, so Marina, my friend. I always really enjoy reading your comics. They're really funny. I think you've got a good. I love the little jokes. I love the the little text conversation about how to pronounce the names. I thought that was so cute. Especially the Shrek joke. That was very well done. Um, but yeah, I really like those sections when you add them in. They're really fun. And I also really loved the section where they go to the bar and um, uh, Kizier. Oh my god, you even talked about how to pronounce it. Anyways, um, she shows up and you get the like full body reveal with her fancy dress and her shoes and she turns the ordering drinks into a competition. I thought all that stuff was really fun. And I liked the building of the little group of friends. I thought that was cute. Um, Really great character expressions in this. I think your paneling was really great. There was a good sense of like the different locations they went to. I had fun reading the dialogue, seeing the characters interact, seeing the expressions. The only thing I think I would continue to work on, one thing I found really hard to follow was the fight scene at the start of your submission. Um, I found it difficult to tell where characters like what the action was. Um like I could tell the emotional states of everything, which was good. Um but during the fight, like up until she gets the sword like put to her throat, I couldn't tell like who was winning, what what their moves were. Like they even mentioned I expected to see like them moving really fast or smashing through walls and stuff. But I just wish it had been like a little easier to kind of tell what was going on. And it's difficult because like fight scenes in action are really difficult. Um, so I'd recommend just doing some studying, like find comics and movies and animation is harder because they have motion on their side. But just looking into comics that have like good fight scenes or memorable fight scenes would be really helpful for you, I think. Um, just to understand, like, um, I guess making the gestures or the movements legible, because like I find you've got good flow, like you have your compositions set up even in the fight scenes where you can tell what panel to look to next. I just found it difficult to tell what the characters were doing. There's one part in particular, like here, this like panel here, I couldn't tell if I don't know. Like I understand like they're fighting here, and then obviously he punches and she dodges, but I don't know. It's still kind of difficult. There's something kind of it did like I don't know. It's missing some impact, I guess. There's just something off there. Um, yeah, where I think I'd just like to see some more um maybe focus on moves and impact and maybe adding some more panels into this would help. Um, I get there's some distance to it because it's characters watching the fight happen, but I would like to see more kind of tension in there in the fight. Manga is good for fight scenes.
Scratching your
Baby, stop.
He loves you.
Meow. Yeah, tell me more. But yeah, I think just some of the movement in the fight scene was a little difficult to read. So yeah, doing some setting up on that I think will really help you. But you've got like the foundations there. You've got your good flow. You've got fun dialogue and action and good story beats and stuff. Yeah, I think it's just needing some kind of study and polish. Um, I'd also recommend what would also probably help you a lot with drawing fight scenes is doing some like figure studies and kind of learning like motion and having character like put weight into their stances would probably help a lot as well. So just keep up that side of all the art study stuff. Um, yeah. So Marina, I don't think you're here, but if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to dive deeper into anything. Um, okay. So next was no, no. I need that. I need that to work and buy you kibbles. I can't buy you kibbles if you eat the equipment we use. Stop. She's biting me, guys. I'm being attacked in my workplace. In my workplace. Ma'am, no. Stop, ma'am. You can't do that. This is a Wendy's. Okay. She's silly. Okay. Next is Kuro. You do. You got a little Matica cuddling. I'm jealous. Okay. It would not be fun if Matica bit you. She's a powerful biter. If we recall from when she was a puppy. Okay, Kuro, my friend. So, I think overall your story was really fun. I really liked the kind of cartoon zaniness of everything. It reminded me a lot of like I don't know, those kind of like darker like cartoons where it's kind of like kind of for slightly older kids but still cartoons type thing. Um I know. I'm being harassed by a little kitten. Um but yeah, it reminded me a lot of something like I guess like Billy and Mandy. I watched it as a kid. I don't remember much from it, but that kind of darker tone, um, kind of goofy cartoon shenanigans. Because this had some like, yeah, I guess Adult Swim a little bit. Adult Swim can be more adult than this, but anyways, I liked how kind of cartoony it was, and zany and weird. Um, uh, and admittedly this has some like the gory stuff is a bit more graphic in this, but yeah, but still like a very energetic fun tone. um um yeah, anyways, very fun story. I liked the I like the setup of these characters. I love the idea of this like dad um who runs like a horror prank YouTube channel. Like it's a very unique character, and I like the dynamic of like him and his family. Um and yeah, it's got it's got a vibe to it that I think is very fun, very Halloweeny. Um I will say I really liked I really liked all the big character expressions. I liked a lot of the action. Um I liked the kind of like them going through puzzles and things like that to figure out what's going on. Um all good stuff. I found that I think my one big gripe with everything was that there's lots of like fun stuff going on in this story. And I really wanted to be able to focus more on like the character expression and like the clues they were finding and what's going on. But I found a lot of the patterns and colors in this were very distracting, especially this like wallpaper that they have that's like um it's like a dinosaur in a witch hat. I'm sorry, I can't really tell what it is because it's so small. But anyways, this wallpaper that they've got going throughout is really distracting, especially when you have other patterns on top of it, like the kid's shirt. And like the characters are all wearing patterns, and you've got like textures and more patterns on everything, and it's very distracting. There's a lot of visual sound going on that it's really hard to like parse and get like a good look at things. So I'd say tone down on your textures quite a bit. Um, Stick to, yeah, I think they just need to be used kind of more intentionally. You can still have textures, but if you're going to be using them like as a wallpaper in the background, it needs to be like toned down a lot, like really low contrast on the pattern so that the high contrast belongs to your characters, so they'll stand out against everything. Um, yeah, so I'd say watch out for that. Yeah, just lots and lots of visual noise. I think you need to pull back on it quite a bit. Um, because there's definitely panels where like you've got like good contrast and there's still like patterns and stuff, but it's really legible. Like this call out panel right here where there's like a texture going on in the background. There's like these funky lines and stuff that add like a mood. And the characters are wearing patterns, but like because they're on a mostly like black background, they stand out and you can tell what's going on. Whereas like down here where like the pit that's opened up is like full of texture and there's like effects going on top and there's this wallpaper in the background and there's texture on the flooring, like it's just a lot to handle. So yeah, I think that needs to be pulled back so that I can like enjoy all the lovely character expressions and the action that's going on. um I did really like pardon me, she's sleepy. I really liked, actually, there were some later bits that like I can tell are still like in the sketchy phase, but I really like this kind of watercolor vibe you got going on. And I think mostly it's because it it pulls back on a lot of the texturing for one. But you do still have texture, like you got this kind of like wavy, lightningy line effect going through and like blending and wash stuff going on with the colors, but it's a lot more legible and I can kind of focus on like the character expressions and the action and stuff. So yeah, this is kind of what I'd like to see. Um, and obviously it doesn't have to be the watercolor type thing, but just like the more simplified, less texture look is nice. Um, I think the character designs were all really fun. Like everyone is easily distinguished. I know I've seen some of these characters. Like I think you showed the main family on a previous critique stream, but I like how all the characters have very distinct looks, but they're all kind of like in the horror, this kind of zany horror vibe as well. I thought that was really fun. Um, bup, 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 bup. It felt very much like um it feels very anime inspired and I like it. Especially the not to give the ending away, but I like when they go through and explain kind of like how they did everything. I thought that was fun. Very anime. Very, very good. Um, um, this is very nitpicky. um, but specifically these two panels right here, this is just something to avoid in the future, where you have when I first read this, I thought this was two characters talking to each other. Where they're like, it's 7 a.m. Grow the hell up. I thought it was two different characters because you're doing a shot reverse shot. Bones is being harassed by Matica's flatulence. Poor Bones. Anyways, but yeah, so you're doing like a shot and then reverse shot, which is where they flip the camera, and that gives the effect of like having characters facing each other and talking. So if you're having a character who's you're just showing like an expression change really quickly with these two panels. I'd keep your characters like shoulders at the same angle, and then just turn their face so it looks like not even a second has passed like between this panel and this panel. Where the only thing that changes between them is like the character turning their head and then that like background color change. Um, so that it doesn't look like it's a completely different angle and a different character. So that's just something to keep in mind in the future about when you're doing something like that. Yeah. I think those are my main thoughts. I don't think Kuro's here, otherwise I'd ask if you had any specific questions about it. So again, feel free to reach out to me after the stream on Discord, and I'm happy to answer more stuff. Um, I'm gonna double check, but I think that's it for the long form submissions. Looks like it. Um, would anyone that's here like to have their who's part of the critique for this month? Would you like me to look at your stuff while I'm here? Because I think we only have some other short form submissions. Currently, we don't have any more like comic scripts and comic pages. Oh, you want to go? Okay, awesome. So here, let me get your submissions up. Sorry, I think you submitted a third one, right, Sean? Oh, I'm not logged in as me. Oop. Oop. Bones, could you hand me my phone? It's right there beside you on the. Gotta log into Discord. Finding the login QR code takes so long. It doesn't actually. It takes like 5 seconds, but my brain every time is like, where do I find it? Okay. Okay, you took it down? Okay. For some reason I thought you sent me like a different image, but I guess not. So you just got the two. Okay. So All right, so let's start with the first one. Okay, so character called Lilith. I took your advice about finishing my painting. Just looking on overall the feedback. Just general feedback and any points I could use to make it better. Okay. Um, I did, but the file was too big. Oh no. Oh, Discord. Discord, why are you doing us dirty like this? Okay. So for this lovely painting, I think you've done a really good job as usual with your lighting. It's very moody. I like how you use really dramatic lighting on things to really set the vibe. Um, um, yeah, I think you've just done a really great job with like adding highlights and shading. I really love right here on her cheekbone where you get just a little bit of um showing like a shallowness in her cheek. I think it's just like it's really subtle. It's really nice. I really like it. But yeah, you've done a good job with like adding some nice shadows, adding highlights, modeling things, great color choices. The one thing I'd say with this one in particular, um, there are there's some really like delicious parts like this like the cheekbone. I really like right here where you can see like the light hitting like her other cheekbone. I like the lighting in her eyes. Um, like I love this little highlight on her lip. Um, there's just like lots of rich little details in it. I think there's a bit of like wonkiness going on, like a little bit of I'm not sure what it is, but there's something about her face that just feels like it's been kind of squished because like there's some really beautiful rendering going on, but some of it feels really flat. Like under her chin here, I feel like there should be like some darker shadows going on maybe. Um like there's some implied shape to her chin right here. Like there's a bit of a line showing like um her chin bone protruding a little bit, but it's not um like rendered fully. Like there should be a bit more light on it or maybe some darker shadows on this side to show the shape more. There's just little bits where I think it just needs like a little bit some more like kind of filling out the details in the same way that you've done this like cheekbone and the eye over here. Um just that little extra oomph. There's also some flatness going on over here with like her brow, where you've got some lovely like shading going on around like the eye socket. But it's not following up to her eyebrows. Yeah, I think there just needs to be some more kind of like shading and um uh modeling your forms some more, so like adding like the shadow and highlights throughout. Because I know you can do it. You've done a really fabulous job here. There's just little bits that need, I think, a little bit more. Um, but yeah, I love overall the vibe it gets. Like it's a very moody way of lighting things. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, but yeah, I especially love like her hair. There's some like really rich colors going on in here. Um which is fantastic. I gotta get more studies. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna just always be like, everybody do your studies, because I'm boring. um, I don't want to study either. Sometimes I sit down and I'm like, oh, well, guess I better go study because I don't know how to draw this. I thought I did, but I do not. um, um, I think,
Matt, get back here.
I think, hmm,
Matica, get back here. Yeah.
hmm. Yeah, I think that would be my main kind of takeaway from this, where I think you do a really great job of like setting mood and like setting the lighting up and making it very dramatic and like I think you've got a good understanding of it. I think you just need to go in and work more on those like little detail bits because I'm looking at the hair and like overall it's like gorgeous. Like really great color, really great lighting. But it like when you look close there's lots of um uh, like it's very wild, which like is part of the vibe of this character, which I like. But I think you need to like go in and add some control to it. So um, like it looks like you've laid down these like curls and like flyaway hairs and some messiness and stuff. But I think it just needs you need to go in and kind of neaten some of it up and just get those little details in there um, to make it feel. I'm mostly noticing it around the edges, like in around the face. You've gone in and really done some great like cleaning up of the strands and things. But around the edges, there's it gets a bit more messy. So just going in and tightening everything up, I think would really help you out quite a bit, especially like right over here. I'd love to see this kind of like shaped up more because it gets very gestural towards the ends of it. Um, yeah, hopefully that all makes sense. Wine auntie, I get that vibe. Yes, she looks like she's gonna get drunk at my house and gossip with me about the neighbors, and then also kidnap children and turn them into soup. She's got those vibes. um yeah, was there do you have any other questions or anything I didn't cover here? Bones, I'm stealing your water bottle. Um so otherwise I can move on to your comic cover. Looking for general feedback. You're good? Okay, awesome. Okay. So, I think you okay, so first off, again, I love the vibes. Really good vibes. I really like what you've done with the logo. the Gods and Monsters logo. I think your font choice has like some really good vibes to it. I like how it's got like a lot of room to it. It reminds me a lot of like um I think part of it is just like the way you've done these really like dark blocky shadows, but it reminds me a lot of like the Hellboy comics. Like I get that kind of vibe from it. Um but anyway, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. I really like what you've done with the logo. I like how it's got like room to breathe. And I like the rectangle around it. I think it helps kind of give it stability and stand out. I think you need to give a similar treatment to this like subtitle here. I'm not sure if this is like the chapter title or a something like that, but it feels a little tacked on because this is very like the logo is very like integrated into things, and whereas the something old title, like the color doesn't really match any of the colors in the piece. Um, the uh, the font feels a little bit basic. I'd maybe want to see something a bit more decorative, um, or something that stands out a little less. Like I might use like a thinner font, like because this looks like a bold font. Maybe using like a regular or a thin if the typeset has that. Um, would probably help, and I might use white instead of this kind of yellowy green color. Just because like your colors for the piece overall are very dark, so I think using white would really stand out. um yeah, I think there's also room. No, I don't think there is actually. I was gonna say I think there's room in your composition to put like something up here, like maybe more text or moving this piece of text up there, but I don't actually think that would work now that I think about it. I might fill this up with a bit of black. It feels a little bit empty here, or maybe making your characters like a smidge larger and move them up to the right a little bit more. Um, Danny Cook and Mike. Oh my god, I can never remember how to pronounce his last name, but yes, very much like that. Oh, their influences, nice. I can see it. I can see it. Um, um, anyways, what was I saying? Oh, right. Bringing your characters up to the side a bit more, just because there is like a little bit too much negative space. I'd either do something here with like the background, like adding in maybe some shapes in the black fill, or making moving your characters up a little bit so that um the space feels a little less empty. Um you could also do something interesting if you wanted to change this logo and do something where you have like um, gods up in this top left corner, and then the little plus, and then monsters over here on the right side. Something like that. You could play around with it if you're interested. If not, I just move the characters a bit. Um, I really love the heavy use of shadow. Um, I like how the bright colors really lead us to the characters' faces, especially that bright red on the character's hood. Um, and the little green flame. I think I think the pink on this character could be, I think it could be toned down a little bit. Like, I don't want to get rid of all the other colors, but it's very, because this character in the background is very gray, with the exception of like the red buttons on their coat. Um, and then you have the character in front, who's obviously supposed to like stand out the most with like the red and the green. Um, it's a little distracting having this character with the pink right next to them. I might tone down the pink so it's more desaturated and gray, um, just so that this main character can really stand out. Um, I also think there's something happening with this bow that's getting very lost. Like, I like how it has the green highlights to kind of bring the green through it a bit more. I honestly might even put in like a third thing that's this bright green just to create like a triangle in your composition. Um, I'm not sure what, because I don't know what would work for your story. But just some kind of like bright green element that shares that intensity. Probably over here in this corner, the bottom right. But anyway, there's something going on with this bow where it's getting kind of lost in the dark, where you've got these like green patches that really stand out. Um, but the rest of the bow gets kind of lost in all this darkness. I'd recommend like adding either like a highlight from like the glow, or just something to help make it stand out a little bit against all the black down here. Um, I should push them back. Yeah, a little bit, I think. Kind of push them to the background a little bit so that the main character can really stand out. Um, yeah, I'd also recommend cleaning up some of the black in the background around the characters' heads, like just getting it tucked in um, around them, because it's kind of like flush against the rest of them throughout the piece. So just making sure you kind of clean up around their heads, just because it's like the most noticeable. I like how there's like a messy texture to the dark. Like, it's not completely black fill. There's like little specks and stuff. I feel like that adds like a nice texture to it. There's just places where I think it needs to be cleaned up. Um, I thought the glow would have done it. It just needs the shape to be kind of like cut out a little bit more. Um, just because it's I think it's just a contrast issue with the color of the bow because it's so dark and then it's against like black and gray. Yeah, so just like a highlight or something, or lightening the bow's color, that might be hard. But yeah, just something maybe like a white outline or a gray outline, something like that. I think would definitely help. Um, yeah. Do you have any other questions on this? I think it's a really solid cover. It's very cool. I'm intrigued. I feel like this character is like a monster hunter, and um, they're about to go mess up some monsters. I'll try the outline. Okay, awesome. Awesome. So, yeah, let me know if there's anything else that you would like covered. Otherwise, I think that's it. Miku stopped harassing me, I see. she's gone off to harass someone else.
Probably a moth, yeah.
Probably a Malthea. Oh, poor Malthea.
Weird as fair.
I wanted to get that she's protecting them. Yeah, totally. I totally get that. She feels like she's like stepping up to help. And they're like, wait, no, it's too dangerous. And she's like, no, I got this. That's kind of the vibe I get. Oh my goodness, I'm so sleepy today. That's it. Awesome. Well, thank you to everyone who submitted. There's going to be more critiques on Saturday, where we'll go over more artwork. If you would like your artwork critiqued, you can sign up for our Patreon. There should be a link down below or in the chat as it just appeared, where you can sign up for Patreon. If you get your submissions in by tomorrow, you can get your stuff critiqued on stream this month. Otherwise, it'll be next month. And we're happy to look at comics. We're happy to look at fiction, like prose, character designs, comic covers, illustrations, all that good stuff. So yeah, thanks again to everybody. Hope you have a good night or day or whatever time it is for you. And we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.